Hello there. How are you doing? My name is Fe Martins of Kini Big Deal, and today I'll be introducing you to what algebra is. Now, if you don't know what algebra is, maybe because you think the name is fancy, algebra is actually from an Arabic word which means algebra. Okay, I'll spell that for you as time goes on and tell you a lot of cool stories. But algebra is a very emotional topic for a lot of people because you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I was loving maths until one plus one became x times y minus z or something," and x became a public enemy. Okay, even though y is also guilty of the same offense, x became the problem child. Here, find x. Here, find x. Uh, I have a friend who will even make a joke that can't x just put on a GPS locator so that anytime you're looking for X, just pull out your computer and say, X, where are you? You go fair James Bond now. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get into some things that will make you see that there's really nothing to be afraid of. Okay. Now, the whole idea behind algebra, okay, let's rule this out. You remember that our book concepts, okay, nice and easy. Good. Now, algebra. Now, pay attention. If I give you something like box minus 3 equal to 4, well, if you I mean the answer is what? 7. Why? Because I know that 7 is the number that you subtract 3 from and you get a 4. But you can't just say box equal to 7. I mean, what does that mean? Oh, sorry about that. You can't just say box is equal to 7. You write 7 here when you finally arrange your answer. But I mean, this kind of scenarios are best suited for. Let's have a diagram of a drawing of those who use those kind of things. Let's say you have this, okay. Um, mm, mm. For your information, I'm trying to draw a baby, okay, a big belly button like this. You know this probably looks like your picture when you were small. Okay, so insert your name here. Wow, fine baby, please. Anyway, you can't just keep writing boxes because boxes is meant for babies. So if you tell a baby that box plus 2 equals 3, it means what will you add to 2? Okay, that's a question mark by the way. That will give you 3. And you can easily say it is 1. How you got the 1, you just run the numbers through your head, and I'm going to show you why you shouldn't always do that so you understand the concept. Now, the culprit guy that everybody likes to talk about, oh, X is this, Y is that, Z is that. X is just really what you call an unknown, okay? Unknown, which means we don't know it. That is why there's an empty box here. That's why there's also an empty box here because we don't know what we are removing 3 from that gives us 4. We don't know what we are adding to 2, like the addition sign says here, that gives us 3. So instead of using boxes to represent them, we make use of variables, okay? Variables is how you spell variables, Variables, plural. These are variables. Each one is called a variable. Variable from the word vary, okay, which means they differ. So if you have x plus 3 equals 10 in this question, and in another question you have x minus 2 equals 20, the answer you have here for x is different from the one here because x has already changed its mind. That's why we call them variables. They vary from time to time. You just use them as temporary holders for whatever values you are looking for. Okay, if you're not if the English is not intimidating you yet, we're going to go over the concepts again. You use variables instead of the primary school x. Instead of the primary school box you were taught. X, Y, Z are not the only possible variables. You can use things like A, B, C, D, whatever it is you want to use, just to represent that you are looking for an unknown number. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's treat some simple instances where we need to adjust, to solve for a particular value. Okay, let's quickly clean this one nice and slow. X, 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 X. Okay, I think we're good to go. Now, back to the matter. If you're given something like X plus 3 equal to 5, how do you approach this? First, in the baby way, what they're saying is box plus 3 equal to 5. Now, this will be the last time we use this box thing. It's so annoying because I think you are grown ups. You shouldn't be haba. It's for babies now, except that baby picture I just drew is you. So, what do you add to 3 that gives you 5? Okay, what value that once you have that value here, we don't know the value. Let's put a nice question mark here. But once we have that value, if we plug the value here to whatever it is plus 3, whatever this is plus 3, it will give us 5. How do we do it? Well, you've heard of things like when one number crosses one side to the other side, the signs change. We're not going to do that now. I'm going to introduce very simple concepts to you that will help you solve these kind of things easily. Now that we have this out of the way, let's clean the box. You're a grown up now. Cool. So let's move on. If you have x plus 3 equals 5, what does this mean? It means there is an unknown called x, and we are what? Adding 3 to it. X is gaining 3 before it becomes 5. So the idea is once you have an equal sign in any expression, it means whatever you calculate here must be equal to whatever you calculate here. Why is that important? That is important because if we try to do any manipulation to this side, people like to call it left-hand side because it's on your left-hand side. Okay, LHS. This one is your right-hand side. Mathematicians just like wala. What simple to your left, to your right, but let's move on. We are not going to beat them today. Well, on the left-hand side, we have x plus 3. It means whatever happens to that x, when we add 3 to it, it must give us 5. A quick way of looking at this is, if I say something is equal to 6, okay, that's something I don't know. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. If I try it with you again, something is equal to 6. What is that something? I can say 3 plus 3. I can say 8 minus 2 is also what? Equal to 6. Okay, but let's pick on this particular one, for example, this 3 plus 3. If we have the 3 plus 3 gives us 6, they are both equal. So if we add something, for example, let's cheat. Let's add, let me change the color. Let's add 2 here, plus 2. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Is 8 equal to 6? No, it is not. So you're wrong. Why? Because we added something to this side and we did not add to this side. So there is no equality again. But if we had our 3 plus 3 and we added the 2, let me quickly change the color of that so you know what we're doing. And we add 2 to that on this side equal to, this is our initial 6. Okay, this is our initial 6. If we add the same 2 for the sake of justice, okay, we've added 2 here, we've added 2 here. What do you have? 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Equals to 6 plus 2, 8. Our equality still stands. Okay? Keep that idea in mind when you see the equal sign in mathematics. It is very important. Now, moving on to the x plus 3 question, you now discover that now that we understand the whole idea of equality, what do we do next? What we do next is analyze the something in English. If analyze is a big word for you, let's say just look at very well, shine your eye. You get something where they go add to x, we go give you 5. Okay, sorry, where they go add to x, yeah, it will give you 5, and 5 there on its own. So let's start. X has 3. What can we do to take away the joy of this 3 from x? Okay, x has 3. What do we do? Let's take away the 3 from x. So we have x plus 3, which we already have, but let's take away what it has, minus 3. You had your x like this, and they added 1, 2, 3. Now we want to take this away. We want to take this 3 away from x. So x plus 3 minus 3 equals. Now we've done a manipulation to this side. We've subtracted 3. Okay? For the sake of balance, we have to do the same thing for the other side. So we say equals 5 minus 3. So we have subtracted 3 here. We are doing the same thing here. So what do? It becomes x plus 3 minus 3 is 0 equal to 5 minus 3 is 2. Anything plus 0 is anything. So you have x is equal to 2. That is how you write your answer when you find the value of x or y or whatever you're looking for. So let's check if we are correct. That's the fun thing about algebra. If x is equal to 2, let's place in 2 in our initial expression, which is, instead of x, we write 2 plus 3 equals, equals 5, because from our x plus 3 equals 5, and we are just representing x with 2 now. So this is 5 on its own, and is equal to 5. So that means our answer is correct. Okay, let's treat another concept using what is called. Let's treat another question, this time with the subtraction sign. Okay, remember, you can always pause the video and go back to it. This is as simple as we can make it for you. Now let's move on. If you had another question, like say x minus 8 equals 12. I'm tempted to use that box, but what it says is there is a number. Once you remove 8 from it, you will be left with 12. Now remember the idea I showed you, that what have they done to x? They are removing something from x, they're removing 8. So that means x, that means x innocently is here on its own. And from what it has, let's assume x is a whole big boy like this, and somebody is wickedly taking 8 parts away from him, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say 8. They are taking 8 away from x. Okay? If you take 8 away from x, Mr. X is not feeling complete again. Okay, so what do? It means to make this minus 8 disappear, because there's already a deficit of 8, there's a subtraction of 8 here. What do? We do the opposite of what we have here, which is x minus 8. Then we add 8, because if 8 is missing, which is what the minus means, once we add it back to it, x stays whole again. So x minus 8 plus 8 equal to, remember what I told you about balance? We've done something here. We've added 8 to this side of the equation. To make it balance, we make sure we do the same thing. 12 plus 8. Okay, can you see the 8? Can you see the 8? So x minus 8 plus 8. If you're owing somebody 8 naira before, and somebody gives you 8 naira, what do you have? You have 0 naira when you pay your debt, because here is the value you were owing before. These are settled, nothing is remaining again. So minus 8 plus 8, the 8 just fills the gap and it becomes 0. So it becomes x plus 0. I mean, for the sake of effect, you can even say x minus 0. It won't affect x, but x plus 0, let's stay focused, equal to 12 plus 8 is 20. So x plus 0 is x. 20 still remains 20. In fact, if you want to do over Sabi, what you can do is, since we have 0 here, why don't we just subtract 0 from the two sides? Well, you can do that on your own. But anyway, just have x equal 20. How do you check? If x is 20, that means 20 minus 8 equal to 12. I'll see you in the next video as we introduce more concepts in algebra. Thank you.